talked about, lied about. Mother of Dora, whose strange disappearance was charged to her rearing. My eye, quick to beauty, saw much besides ribbons and buckles and feathers and leghorns and felts, to set off sweet faces and dark hair and gold. One thing I will tell you, and one I will ask. The stealers of husbands wear powder and trinkets, and fashionable hats. Wives, wear them yourselves. Hats may make divorces, they also prevent them. Well now, let me ask this. If all of the children born here in Spoon River had been reared by the county, somewhere on a farm, and the fathers and mothers had been given their freedom to live and enjoy, change mates if they wished, do you think that Spoon River had been any the worse?
Where is my boy? My boy. In what far part of the world? The boy I love best in all the school. I, the teacher, the old maid, the virgin heart, who made them all my children. Did I know my boy right? Thinking of him, spirit of flame, active, ever aspiring. Oh boy, for whom I prayed and prayed, many a watchful hour at night. Do you remember the letter I wrote you of the beautiful love of Christ? Whether you took it or not, oh boy, wherever you are, work, for your soul's sake, so that all the clay of you, all the dross of you, may yield to the fire of you, till the fire is nothing but light, nothing but light.
Well, Emily Sparks, your prayers were not wasted. Your love was not all in vain. I owe whatever I was in life to your hope that would not give me up, to your love that saw me still as good. Dear Emily Sparks, let me tell you the story. I passed the effect of my father and mother. The miller's daughter made me trouble, and out I went in the world, where I passed through every peril known, of wine and women and joy of life. One night, in a room in the Rue de Rivoli, I was drinking wine with a black-eyed coquette, and the tears swam into my eyes. She thought they were amorous tears and smiled at the thought of her conquest over me. But my soul was 3,000 miles away, in the days when you taught me in Spoon River. And just because you could no more love me, nor pray for me, nor write me letters, the eternal silence of you spoke instead. And the black-eyed coquette took the tears for hers, as well as the deceiving kisses I gave her. Somehow, from that hour, I had a new vision. Dear Emily Sparks.
When Reuben Pantier ran away and threw me, I went to Springfield. There I met a lush. His father deceased and left him a fortune. He married me when drunk. My life was wretched. A year passed, and one day they found him dead. This made me rich. I moved on to Chicago. After a time at Tyler Roundtreeville. I moved on to New York. A gray-haired magnate went mad about me. So another fortune. One night he died in my arms, you know. I saw his face for years thereafter. There was almost a scandal. I moved on. Now to Paris. I was now a woman. Insidious, subtle, first in the world, and rich. My sweet apartment near the Champs-Élysées was the center for all people. Musicians, dandies, nobles, artists, poets, where we spoke German, French, Italian, English. I would count Navigato, native of Genoa. We went to Rome. He poisoned me, I think. Now in the Campo Santo, overlooking the sea, where young Columbus dreamed new worlds, see what they chiseled? Contessa, Navigato, Implora Eterna Vitae.
Together in this grave lie Benjamin Pantier, attorney at law, and Nig, his dog, constant companion, solace and friend. Down the gray road, friends, children, men and women, passing one by one out of life, left me till I was alone. With Nig for partner, bedfellow, comrade and drink, in the morning of life I knew aspiration and saw glory. Then she, who survives me, snared my soul with a snare which bled me to death, till I, when strong of will, lay broken, indifferent, living with Nig in a room back of a dingy office. Under my jawbone is snug with the bony nose of Nig. Our story is lost in silence. Go by in that world.
I know that he told that I snared his soul with a snare which bled him to death. All the men loved him, and most of the women pitied him. But suppose you're really a lady with delicate taste and loathe the smell of whiskey and onions, and the rhythms of Wordsworth's ode runs in your ears, while he goes about from morning till night repeating bits of that common thing. Oh, why should the spirit of mortal be proud? And then suppose you're a woman well endowed, and the only man with whom law and morality permit you to have the marital relation is the very man that fills you with disgust. Every time you think of it, while you think of it, every time you see him, that's why I drove him away from home, to live with his dog in a dingy room back of his office.
He ran away and was gone for a year. And then he came home, and he told me the silly story of being kidnapped by pirates on Lake Michigan, and kept in chains so he could not write to me. I pretended to believe him, though I knew very well what he was doing, and that he met the milliner, Mrs. Williams, now and then when she went to the city to buy goods, as she said. But a promise is a promise, and marriage is marriage, and out of respect for my own character, I refused to be drawn out into a divorce by the scheme of a husband who had nearly grown tired of his marital vow and duty.
She loved me. Oh, how she loved me. I never had a chance to escape from the day she first saw me. Then after we were married, I thought she might prove her mortality and let me out. Or she might divorce me. But few die, none resign. Then I ran away and was gone for a year on a lark. She never complained. She said all would be well, that I would return. And I did return. I told her, while taking a row in a boat, had been captured near Van Buren Street by pirates on Lake Michigan, and kept in chains so I could not write to her. She cried and kissed me, said it was cruel, outrageous, inhumane. Then I concluded our marriage was a divine dispensation that could not be dissolved, except by death. I was right.